Ancient and future Pokemon have become one of my absolute favorite things about the Scarlet and Violet era of the Pokemon TCG. Ancient Pokemon can usually hit really hard and take large one-hit KOs, and future Pokemon are often a bit more technical, hitting for a little bit of damage or spreading damage counters to set up for future turns. A few months ago, Pokemon released a ton of new tins and blister products around Ancient and future Pokemon. These products have promo cards in them or alternate holo versions of already existing cards. And of course, there are also tons of booster packs. So Azul and I are going to each take one side of the coin, ancient or future, open up each of those products, and try to see what we can cobble together to build a playable deck. Then we will battle it out and see which one of us can come out on top, ancient or future. But before we get into these packs, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Opera GX. Opera GX is the browser built for gamers. Whatever browser you are currently using is probably lame and boring and uncustomizable. Opera GX is cool and fun, exciting, and extremely customizable. You can integrate all of your favorite messaging apps right into the sidebar, so you always have them on hand. You can also integrate other websites that you regularly visit, such as Twitch or X. GX mods allow you to entirely customize your browser experience with dedicated wallpapers, background music, and so much more. There are a few cool Pokemon mods that I've seen so far, but for the moment I have settled on the Lo-Fi Chill mod, which has a relaxing lo-fi built-in that I can toggle on or off at any time. One of the nice things as well is that you can use the mods menu to turn on or off any one or all of these features at any point that you want, if you decide you want to change things up a little bit. A feature I have really been enjoying is the video pop-out feature. So no matter what I'm watching, I can seamlessly open up a new tab and continue to follow along. For example, if I'm watching the most recent regional championships and I want to look up one of the players' deck lists, I don't have to pause my video to find what I'm looking for. And one of my favorite things about Opera GX is that they make it incredibly easy to make the switch from your current browser. Once you download Opera GX, of course using the link in our description, you can transfer everything over from your old browser. So you won't lose all your bookmarks, your passwords, your cookies, none of it. It all comes with you with just a simple click of a button. Once again, we're going to have a link down in the video description where you can download Opera GX and try it out for yourself. And once you give it a shot, I'd love to have you come back. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments down below. Thanks again to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. We really do appreciate it. And now let's crack into those ancient and future packs. All right, Azul, we've got all the ancient stuff on this side, the future stuff on this side. We're gonna do an ancient versus future battle. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it, Chip. First, we gotta decide who's getting ancient and who's getting future. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a die here.
You're gonna flip the coin for us?
Yeah, would you like heads or tails?
I'm gonna go with tails. We'll see what we get. It is tails, odds are tails, so I will choose...
Last time you picked.
Last time I picked for one of these type of videos, I did pick ancient. So I could just kind of stick with that same trend. Could mix it up a little bit with the future. Miraidon does seem pretty good. Iron Crown EX. I think I'm gonna stick with the ancient stuff. It's already over here on this side of the table anyway.
All right. Makes
it's a sign, it's meant to be.
All right, well, let's open these up, build some decks, and see how it goes.
Let's do it.
Switch to the scene, we gotta move, there's gotta be something that's gotta change a little bit probably, right? Oh yeah, just zoom in.
Right. Oh, I didn't even stop the recording.
All right, I've got all of my future products here. I believe these are all a little bit newer. The Virizion, or excuse me, Iron Leaves is a little bit of an older product, so I don't know exactly all of the different packs we're gonna be getting out of these. These look like Stellar Crowns here in the blisters, in the tins. Not sure, it'll probably be a couple different sets that the packs are from. So I'm gonna go ahead and open all these up, get all the packs out in the promos, and then we'll take a look at it all. Dude. You can leave this in if you want, Pig. Put it somewhere. Put it somewhere. All right, there we go. I found a edge. Okay, I've got all the products opened up, and I've actually put their packs with the promos, so I can see exactly what we got. We got 2 Twilight Masquerade, 2 Obsidian Flames, Temporal Forces here. We got the Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, and an Obsidian Flames. And then 2 more Twilight Masquerade, a Temporal Forces, a Paradox Rift, and an Obsidian Flame. So we got an extra Obsidian Flames in the Iron Leaves box, and 1 less Paradox Rift, and then 2 Stellar Crowns in the blisters. Let's start with the Iron Leaves here, which of course is going to be a pretty powerful attacker. Definitely going to try and use this thing. It's got the ability Rapid Vernier. It can move itself from the bench to the active, and then you can move all your energy from your other Pokemon to it if you want. Then there's 180 damage for Grass, and Colorless. And the ability triggers when you play it from your hand. Let's see what else we get here. We're looking for like just powerful Pokemon, to be honest. I feel like Boomerang Energy. There's an EX. Ray Fort. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and discard any number of them. Put the others back in any order. I mean, that'll be okay at thinning out the deck, I guess. We got a Palafin and an Ogerpon EX. Okay, I'm not mad about that. 3 fires, 140. And if the active is an evolution, we do 140 more. But then fire double colorless, do 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Probably will be using the Wrathful Hearth more so than anything. Definitely not mad about an Ogerpon. That's not the grass Ogerpon though. That would be definitely something we'd be trying to get here. Let's see if we can get ourselves a grass Ogerpon. We got a Dreepy, got another Boomerang Energy. What's this do again? If it's discarded, you put it back. Another Ray Fort. The Ray Fort is a pretty weak supporter with stuff like this. It's not giving you any value. It is thinning out your deck, so that way your top deck is like more likely to be a better card, but it's not actually leading to value on the turn or even like value to your next turn. It's like potential value, but not actual value, nothing guaranteed. So not a super powerful supporter there. Explorer's Guidance, on the other hand, thins out your deck aggressively and gets you cards for your turn. And the Scovillain EX. We really need to find ourselves a Capsakid. That would be sick. I'm excited for the Scovillain. I'm a big fan of the Scovillain. I love playing it in the standard formats from time to time. So I would love to be able to play with that here. The Togekiss, not gonna be great probably. The Trevenant though could be okay. For 3 colorless energy, it does 100 damage if any Pokemon can't retreat. And then it does 100 damage between turns with its ability, which is not bad. So Trevenant honestly is an okay pull here. Not mad about the Trevenant at all as long as we can find ourselves a Phantom. There's the Capsakid, that's what I'm talking about. I'm excited for that. What else we got in here? We got the Gloom, Special Art Gloom. The Thundurus isn't bad as either. 2 lightning energy for 140. Probably will try and take advantage of that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and move down to the Miraidon Stellar Crown pack here. Miraidon, of course, gonna be really, really key with that peak acceleration attack for 1 colorless energy. Does 40 damage. Search our deck for 2 energy and attach them to our future Pokemon in any way we would like. Let's see if we can get any big trainers here or powerful Pokemon Lapras EX, okay. Might be something here. For a Water, Psychic, and Metal, look at the top 20 cards of your deck and attach any number of energy you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. I don't know if I'm powering that up, but Power Splash, I can work with that, I think. I think I can work with the Power Splash. Okay, over here to the Future Squad. None of these are particularly powerful, to be honest. We might be able to get the most value out of the Iron Thorns with its Destructo Press for our Lightning and Colors. It does 70 damage times the amount of future Pokemon we discard after we discard the top 5 cards of our deck. There could be something there, to be honest. Let's get into this Stellar Crown pack here. We already got the Lapras EX, no more EXs, and honestly nothing too powerful, no trainers or anything like that. Okay, we're done with the Stellar Crown packs. We've got the Iron Boulder EX here, of course, 240 HP. It's got that Repulsor Axe for a Fighting Anacolus, 60 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, you put 8 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon, so that's pretty powerful. Definitely something we're gonna be trying to utilize it for. Definitely want to try and take advantage of that. Okay, we got the Caretaker here. We have a supporter. Draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, and if Community Center is in play, shuffle this Caretaker into your deck instead of discarding it. Okay, can we get ourselves a Community Center for the Caretaker chain? Lucian. Both players shuffle their hands into their deck, and then both players flip a coin. If you get heads, you draw 6. If tails, you draw 3. So a draw supporter there. And we got the Greninja EX, but of course, we will also need a Froakie and whatever the middle frog, Frogadier and a Frogadier if we want to make that work. So the Greninja itself is not good enough. An Enhanced Hammer, that actually honestly might be worth playing, I'm not sure. If your benched Pokemon have any damage counters on them, this attack does 90 more damage. Honestly, Proud Fangs. We can get ourselves a Hisuian Growlithe. I will definitely rock that. Heavy Baton, I don't think I have anything to combo with the Heavy Baton. They do need to have 4 retreat costs. I'm gonna take a quick back look. Does this thing have? No, it's 3. Yeah, I'll have to go look through. I don't know if I have anything that has 4 retreat costs I'll actually be able to combo that with. I'll definitely try and make it work though. Definitely a very, very powerful tool card if I've got a decent attacker with 4 retreat costs. Norman, draw 2 cards if your opponent's active is a Pokemon EX, draw 2 more. And there's a good chance Chip's active will be a Pokemon EX. We got the Roark, draw 2 cards, put a basic energy from your discard pile into your hand, not bad. And the Cursed Duster, not great. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from your opponent's Pokemon, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. It's okay. I don't think I'm gonna go all in on that Cursed Duster though to try and get value out of that. Probably not gonna play it, but we'll see what my final deck does look like. Got a Pidgey. Team Starguard, honestly, pretty good in these kind of formats. I was gonna call it a pre-release format. Hey, we got another Scovillain, but I don't probably have another Capsakid in here, so I don't know if we're gonna be playing that Scovillain. We'll see. And then getting to our last stack of packs here, we got the Iron Crown EX. It's got the Cobalt Command that all of our future Pokemon gain plus 20 damage, except for any Iron Crown. And then we got the Twin Shuttles attack here for a Psychic Double Colorless. Do 50 damage to 2 of our opponent's Pokemon and ignore all effects on those Pokemon. Weakness, resistance, and all effects. Okay. there's that Frogadier. Hold up, can we get Greninja involved? That would be absolutely sick. Handheld fan, also not bad for the same reason. Energy disruption in these formats is huge. Frogadier, no Froakie, but hold on, we're not done yet. I believe we have one more chance here, right? I don't think these sets have Froakie in them, but Twilight Masquerade does. I could still get a Froakie for my 1/1/1 Greninja line. Let's see, Groot Griffin is in. Accompanying Flute could be annoying. Melodic, no Froakie. I think the Teal Mask Ogerpon could also be pretty good. Ogre Comeback 20 plus 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I could even combo that with the accompanying Flute. Honestly, the Flute sounds kind of good. Just put a bunch of bad basics on Chip's bench. That might be worth the inclusion. We will see. Getting down to the final packs here. Looking for some heavy hitters. Incineroar EX is cool, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. I don't think I'm going to be able to set up an Incineroar with the Pokemon that I have. We're going to be mostly future-based, I think. This is going to be definitely a little scrappy from what I've seen of what we have. Luxurious capability. Oh, we got a gold card. Oh, it's a Beach Court. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be using Beach Court. And final pack here. Looking for some heaters. Umbreon Poppy's not bad. Rhyme's not bad. Town Store. Glamora. Do I have a Glimmet? I don't think so. Otherwise, the Glamora would be pretty good. But the Rhyme and the Poppy also aren't bad. Draw supporter and energy manipulation supporter. All right, I don't exactly know what I all have here that I'm gonna be able to make work, but I gotta go figure that out. So I'm gonna go build my deck.
All right, so here is all the ancient products. The Walking Wake 10 came out, I think earlier this summer, but these are all pretty new. When we're recording this, it's like pretty shortly after Stellar Crown came out, so all these products are relatively new, so I'm excited to get into them, hoping that we've got some like older packs, Paradox Rift especially, a way to get some of the ancient support cards like Sada or Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, like that would be absolutely amazing. I'm not sure how much of what comes from Stellar Crown will really interact with these cards, but yeah, I'm excited to get into it. We'll see what the polls are. Well, if I can get into it. So we've got all the products opened up. Here's all the tins with their respective packs and the checklane blisters with their respective packs as well. I will say I don't think I will play like every single one of these cards. I'm leaning towards potentially like not playing the Walking Wake. Almost definitely won't play the Screamtail, but like all of these I think can synergize well enough together. The Roaring Moon is obviously a pretty decent option, I would say. Maybe at the end of the game, a one prize Pokemon that could do a decent chunk of damage. A big part of it's just gonna come down to what the heck do we get out of these packs? Is there anything semi-usable? Does look like there is a Paradox Rift pack in each of these tins and Temporal Forces, so those both have ancient cards in them potentially. But yeah, let's start with the newest pack, the Stellar Crown, to kick things off. And let's see if we can get something feasible, something workable. I mean, a big part of this is just gonna be if you get any decent usable trainers. It doesn't look like I did out of this, and in fact, I just get a Venusaur EX. I don't even think there's like an Ivysaur in this set, so yeah, just a useless card, genuinely useless card. But we do have one more Stellar Crown pack. Maybe this can get us a Crispin, like that would be pretty insane, to be honest. A Crispin would be nuts to pull. Let's see if we can make it happen. Crispin, 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 Crispin. Lacey, hold up. Oh, and the Lapras EX. Honestly, maybe I will reconsider my Walking Wake. Wait, hold up. Look at the top 20 cards of your deck and attach any number of energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way that you like. That seems kind of good. That's good. We're gonna keep that off to the side for sure. Definitely keeping the Lacey out because Lacey is, you know, it's a trainer card, so it's gonna go in our deck naturally. We'll go to the Walking Wake 10 next. Let's do the Obsidian Flames packs first. I feel like these are gonna be the ones that are least likely to impact what we get. I think I could pull an Arven from this set. That would be decent, especially if we get like an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, Town Store, and a Gita. The one-time Gita comes up and is actually like decent. Okay, hold up. Entei as well, like a strong basic attacker. All right, I'm gonna keep these things out that I may potentially use. I don't think Town Store is worth keeping around unless I pull a couple of useful tools, which I don't think will be the case, but you never know. Varoom, Phantump, and Toxtricity. Nothing much going on there. One Temporal Forces. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Ancient Booster Energy Capsule is in this set as well as Paradox Rift, so we've got a few shots at getting one. Will be really nice to see. Heavy Baton, hold up. That's really good. Another Sandy Shocks, okay. And an Iron Thorns. There's a few future cards here, but I'm not playing the future cards. I mean, I would probably play a Cypher Mac if I got it, something along those lines, but Heavy Baton, hold on. Oh, nothing has 4 retreats. Never mind, Heavy Baton is not good. Okay, remove Heavy Baton. Oh, why can't any of these guys be a little bit beefier? A little beefier would be nice. I mean, maybe I pull an Iron Hands, you know, from Paradox Rift, and I would use the Heavy Baton then.
Accompanying Flute, Boomerang Energy, the more Pekko, honestly, and the Teal Mask Ogerpon, that could get in and do a little bit of damage as a 1 prize Pokemon for 2 energy, and the more Pekko could give me like some dig through my deck, honestly. I could see the more Pekko being decent. The Accompanying Flute, maybe I can like put some bad Pokemon in play for Azul, but he probably won't even play bad Pokemon in his deck. He's probably gonna play just a lot of energy cards, I would imagine. One thing I will need to do is I will need to go through and see which of these Pokemon have Call for Family, because that could be pretty nice. Hassel seems good. The Illumise, you can only use this attack if you go second and only during your first turn. Shuffle one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. Probably not useful there, but the Hassel definitely seems pretty good. Okay, I'm getting a few trainer cards here, some supporters. That's actually really nice to get some supporters to work with. Now we'll go on to the Gouging Fire. We'll go oldest to newest once again. I'm not feeling too bad, you know, all things considered. Letter of Encouragement, some Energy Search, okay. And the Scovillain. I don't think we'll be using that guy, but Letter of Encouragement, hey, a trainer card can potentially get us some energies. We'll have a lot of different types of energy in our deck, so anything that can let us target specific energy types is not too bad. So this is the Paradox Rift Pack. This could be massive. There's a Call for Family Pokemon, that's not bad. Luxurious Cape, okay. Ambipom, Yamask, Cloth, and Mousehold EX. Oh yeah, I don't think Mousehold EX is making the cut, unfortunately. Luxurious Cape, though, is something to consider, and the Painseer with the Call for Family. I don't think I will want to make any of my 1 prize Pokemon worth multiple prizes, most likely. I've got high HP multi-prize Pokemon already, so I doubt that's gonna come up. We'll see, though. Rapidash, Boltund, Mudsdale, Mist Energy, hold up. And a Mudsdale art rare, okay. We did get 2 Mudsdale here, actually, but we don't have any Mudbray, so that's a little bit of a problem. The Volbeat could be good. If you go first, you can use this attack on your first turn, search deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench, so another way to get some Pokemon into play. Lucian, so I'll put Volbeat and Lucian over here for sure. We got Mightyena, Monferno, and Okidogi. Low-key, Okidogi. If I'm gonna play Darkness Energy and Fighting Energy already, I could see that being not too bad. I'm kind of feeling okay about this, all things considered. Quite a few trainer cards, which is not what I would have honestly expected. We got another Boomerang Energy, Rainfort. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and discard any number of them. Put the other cards back in any order. Okay, stacking my deck in a specific way could be nice. You know, could come up, just rearrange the top 5 however I want. Not too bad, not too bad. And then last, but most definitely not least, we've got good old Twilight. Good old Raging Bolt with a few Twilight Masquerade packs. We'll start with Obsidian Flames, once again, keeping with the same theme of what we had earlier. I apologize if I've not been doing a good job of keeping these centered. I imagine I have probably not, to be honest. Grandpa, 10 puts 10 more for each damage counter, probably not good. And another Entei. Okay, we could go with the aggro Entei deck. Just a bunch of fire energies. Hold up, Entei, Gouging Fire. That's the deck, maybe, who knows? Here we go, Paradox Rift. Come on, Sada. Come on, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Come on, Earthen Vessel. So many good cards here, potentially. Let's see it. Boom, boom, boom. Onyx isn't it, Durant isn't it. Earthen Vessel, hold up. Medical Energy, heal 30 damage. That could be decent. We've got a Purloin, Mantike. Oh, we got something. Oh, Roaring Moon EX, hold up there, buddy. Okay, Roaring Moon EX, Earthen Vessel, that pack was pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, we might have something working here. I'm definitely playing the Medical Energy as well. That healing could come in clutch, potentially. This is shaping up pretty decently. I'm kind of liking where I'm going here, to be honest. Zeraora, no. Totodile, Salvatore, hold up. And the Relicanth. It is a trainer card. I don't think I'm gonna be doing any evolving, so Salvatore is probably gonna have to sit on the bench for this one. Last 2 packs here, 2 Twilight Masquerades. What could be the only thing to make this any better? Would I even want like a Teal Mask Ogerpon? I don't know that I would want a Teal Mask Ogerpon because I don't know that I want to play Grass Energy in this deck. Hey, we got a supporter though. Draw 2 cards if you drew any cards in this way, and if Community Center is in play, shuffle this Caretaker into your deck instead of discarding it. Okay, now my #1 wanted card is a Community Center. Hold on. Also, I just realized how harsh the light is on that. Here we go. See if we can get a Community Center. We got a pair in here. Reveal 2 Pokemon from your hand and put them into your deck. If you do search deck for up to that many Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand. Okay, sure, I will probably play it. All right, Community Center. I need the synergy with my Caretaker. Let's see it. Last pack. One more shot at getting something nice, useful for this. We get Alana's Aid. Could get some energy cards back. I guess that's okay. Lucky Helmet. And a Sunflora. Okay, I guess that is like kind of something nice. I don't know. It's nice to someone, maybe not nice to me. All right, we'll take the Lanazade, we'll take the Lucky Helmet, and we will build a 60 card deck from here. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling okay about all this. I'm feeling pretty decent. So here is my deck all laid out. I'm honestly really excited for this. I think it's gonna be fun. I think I've got something good, all things considered, of course, for the format that we're playing in. I mean, two massive pulls for me, the Roaring Moon EX and the Lapras EX. Absolutely insane. I do have the 3 guys up here just to find my other basic Pokemon. Fido and Pain's here, just get 1 basic Pokemon. Volbeat gets 2, and I can actually use the Volbeat on my first turn if I go first. I gotta hope in 3 games, if we play a best of 3, right? If we get 3 full games, maybe I'll just start the Volbeat 1 time, right? That's just fingers crossed. 1 time to start the Volbeat. I leaned mostly into the fire type attackers. I just want to attach, attack as quickly as possible. So I figured a couple of Entei plus the Gouging Fire means I would lean most heavily into the fire energy, second most into the fighting energy. I've got the Okidogi, the 2 Sandy Shocks, of course, Raging Bolt EX. Koraidon uses fighting energy and fire energy, of course. And the Morpeko can use the lightning energy, which I have over here. Only 3 lightning energy. The only things that use it are the Raging Bolt and the Morpeko. Yeah, I don't know. I did at times debate just like not playing the Raging Bolt and cutting the lightning energy to focus more on my other energy types. I also did think about cutting the Lapras because I'm playing 7 energy cards just for the Lapras, but I just think the potential of pulling off the Larimar Rain is just too good to pass up. If I can just accelerate a gajillion energies into play, that would just feel so cool. And like, when am I ever gonna get another opportunity to use the Lapras EX? So I've got to make it happen right now. I did put the Town Store in here because I've got Lucky Helmet and Luxurious Cape. It of course does combo with the Calamity Storm of the Roaring Moon EX. Luxurious Cape is actually pretty funny on the Okidogi here. If I get 2 fighting energy on it to start attacking with good punch, plus a darkness energy, plus the Luxurious Cape, it can have 330 hit points and also be swinging for 170 damage because the ability makes it do 100 more damage as well. So the Okidogi, I think that guy could low-key be MVP if I get him set up pretty quickly. The myriad of supporters here, we've got the draw supporters with Lacey, Lucian, and Caretaker. We've got the Hassel for a little bit of search, the Gita to search out some specific energy cards, the Perrin to search for specific Pokemon potentially, Rainfort to stack the top of the deck, and then Lanazade to get back specific energy cards at the end of the game potentially, or some of my single prize attackers. More than likely though, Lanazade is just going to be grabbing back energy, I would imagine. The Letter of Encouragement and Earthen Vessel, I think, let me go a little thinner on my energy count in theory, right? We'll see exactly how it plays off, but I am genuinely really excited to get into this. We'll see what Azul has cooked up and see how our games go.
Okay. All right, I actually had more than I thought I did. So I'll start off with the future Pokemon that I ended up keeping. Of course, we got the Miraidon for the peak acceleration, got the Iron Crown, Cobalt Command, increasing our future Pokemon's attacks by 20, and then Twin Shadows 50 to 2 of my opponent's Pokemon. Iron Boulder as well, fighting a colorless for 60. Then if we get attacked, they take 80 in return, 240 HP. The Iron Leaves, 180 for Grass colorless, and then the Rapid Vernier ability. When we play from our hand onto our bench, we can move any energy we want to and then move it into the active. I had a 1/1 Elective Iron in the deck, but then I realized I should probably play some lightning energy so I can use the Miraidon's attack, and I needed more future Pokemon to accelerate energy to be honest, so I put the Iron Hands in the deck. None of the Iron Thorns made it to the deck. It has that 80 plus 80 more if the active is a EX or V, and I know Chip has the Walking Wake EX, so to prep for that, I have that in there. I got some Call for Family, Find a Friend Pokemon. We got to Find a Friend here with an Applin, search your deck for any Pokemon, Call for Family with an Eevee, Inviting Kiss. Now this one actually on the Jinx is super powerful. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. If you put any Pokemon onto your bench, in this way you move an energy from this Pokemon to the new bench Pokemon. So you can attach to Jinx, search for a Pokemon, move the energy from Jinx to the new Pokemon, and then kind of protect your energy for the turn if it was to get knocked out. A little bit of draw power, Keldeo for water energy, draw 2, and then we got the Oricorio, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw a card for each basic Pokemon, both yours and your opponent, so it could be a pretty heavy draw support Pokemon there. Quick Sign from the Volbeat is actually pretty sick. It's Call for Family for 2, but I can use it on my first turn if I go first, so pretty unlikely for that effect to take effect, but it is there. I got a 1/1 Skullvillain EX. I talked about this in my pack opening. I actually have some things that I didn't think I had that I actually do have. Stage 1 EX with 260. Does 140 for 2 grass, and you just card a random card from their hand and the top card of their deck. I did have a Froakie. I don't remember having the Froakie. I got the Frogadier, I got the Greninja. I don't remember the Froakie. So I have a 1/1 Greninja EX line here. For 1 water energy, it does 170. Search your deck for any card. And then for water double colorless, it does the Mirage Barrage. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, and then we do 120 damage to 2 of our opponent's Pokemon in play. Hang on, I'm gonna I got a 1/1 Clefable with the Metronome. Copy one of our opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack for 2 colorless energy. Pretty good. A 1/1 Glamora EX. I didn't think I had the Glimmet, but I did. Limits our opponent's bench to 3 Pokemon. And then Poisonous Gem for 2 fighting does 140, and the active is now poisoned. 1/1 Palafin, kind of similar to the Iron Hands. I know Chip has the Gouging Fire. And for 1 water energy, this does 130 damage. 10 less damage for each damage counter on it. Oh, wait, it's better than I thought. Never mind, I misread this. It does 130 and then 10 damage to myself for each damage counter on myself. Wait, this thing's insane. What the heck? Gonna 1-hit KO that Gouging Fire. Supporters got Explorer's Guidance, a Caretaker, Lucian, Roark, draw 2, Norman, draw 2, +2 if the active is an EX, and I do expect to get that draw 4 value out of that at some point. Rhyme draws 3, moves our opponent's active to the bench. Our opponent, of course, picks a new active, but that's fine. Poppy moves our energy around on our side, 2 from one of our Pokemon to another of our Pokemon, and then we got the Team Stargrad, so a little bit of energy disruption. I do have a handheld fan to go with that, some more energy disruption. And then I actually did play the Ray Forts. When I was opening them and I read them, I didn't fully read the card. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and discard any number of them. Put the others back in any order. So this is actually pretty good. That's actually decent. The other tool card, I have a 1 of Luxurious Cape, which I guess I might use with my Palafin. I don't know, Palafin, or I guess I could put on one of the basics. It's the Palafin or maybe the Miraidon. Beach Court for a little bit mobility in the early game. Town Store to help me find my tool cards, namely the handheld fan, but you never know. I got 1 of Boomerang Energy in here, which says if the effect of an attack discards this energy, when it goes to the discard pile, it goes back to the Pokemon. So I can specifically combo this with my Greninja EX. Will I be able to pull off that combo? Who knows? But at the very least, it is just like colorless energy. And then for the basic energy here, we've got 4 water energy. I've got 2 psychic, so I could potentially attack with the Iron Crown or the Miraidon, both of which will probably have to be powered up from the Miraidon's attack. So I'm not too worried about not being able to find those. I have 7 basic fighting because we do need 2 basic fightings here for our Glamora and then 1 potentially for the Iron Boulder. I have 6 basic grass. I went a little bit lighter on the basic grass energy because Iron Leaves can pull the grass from anywhere, not just where it is. All right, and then top it all off for basic lightning energy. Want to be able to attack with the Iron Hands. And then also this Oricorio here has Volt Wave for a colorless and a lightning. 50 damage, flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active is now paralyzed. That's it. That's the 60. Let's see what we can do with it. All right, Chip.
Hang on, wait for me to sit down.
All right, Chip, what do you think?
I'm honestly kind of excited. I'm looking forward to playing this. I don't know what you got over there, but I'm pretty happy with what came out of my packs.
Oh my goodness. Something tells me, now you did go with Ancient, you won the flip, you picked Ancient. Something tells me you got at least 1 Sada, I think.
Sada would be pretty good, wouldn't it? It would be pretty good.
We'll see. Actually, you know, that honestly, that's something I didn't really think about. The Ancient stuff doesn't really have that much energy acceleration.
It doesn't.
And when I was looking at my stuff, I have my Miraidon, of course.
Right.
But I was like, man, I don't really have that much energy acceleration. How am I gonna be able to keep up with Chip? But I don't think you have, you don't have any built-in energy acceleration in like the promos.
Not in the promos, no. Yeah, you definitely had the edge there. And energy acceleration, I feel like will be definitely a part of this for sure. How do you feel about the trainer cards that you have in your deck?
I mean, I think it's fine. I have a decent amount. I don't know how many to expect to want to have, but
sure.
I'm really excited for my support Pokemon.
You have support Pokemon?
No, not that kind of support. Like, you know, Call for Family.
Yeah, sure.
But I have like the next level that you could have for any of those Pokemon. Like the level up.
You got Volbeat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
I have Volbeat too.
All right. Those are the ones, I got some decent ones for
Please tell me you didn't also play the Illumise.
No.
Okay,
that one's not as good.
It's really funny because like in the cube, like the Volbeat is in the cube. People would draft and be like, "Where's the Illumise?" It's like it just would not be a good combo.
You'd lose a bench space.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. For a useless Pokemon.
What does the attack do? It's like 30
it does
plus 30?
20 plus 60 more. So it's like okay.
It's swinging.
It is swinging.
For 2, what, grass colors?
For 2. No, for just 2 colorless. Ooh. So it's not bad. But it's like I feel like if your Volbeat's sticking around, you just want to get 2 more guys in play.
Yeah, probably. I don't know though, but like I could actually see that being okay.
It's probably okay. Azul, here we go. Here is the flip. Would you like heads or tails?
I'll take heads.
Oh. Would you like heads or tails?
I'll take heads.
Here we go. Would you like heads or tails? Keep it on the table, and it is heads. Would you like to go first or second, Azul? Mr. Miraidon over there.
I think I will go with first. I think the energy attachment for the turn is going to be pretty valuable.
Probably so. Oh, this is great. Jinx, young Jinx, okay. Good luck, Azul.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let me read this real fast. 20 less damage from the ability, 20 for each fire G, okay?
I'm gonna read Jinx.
It's pretty broken.
That is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That is pretty good. You're up.
All right, draw for turn, attach a water energy to my Jinx, and pass.
I will draw for turn. I will attach a fire energy to my Entei and pass.
Okay, I will draw for turn. This is actually pretty interesting. I will... attach return to my Jinx.
Okay.
And then use Inviting Kiss. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. If you put any Pokemon onto your bench in this way, move an energy from this Pokemon to the new bench Pokemon.
It's pretty good. You can get a water Pokemon or a fighting Pokemon here.
I could, and I think I will go with the fighting Pokemon in Olay. I will grab the Iron Boulder EX and move my fighting energy from the Jinx to the Iron Boulder EX.
Iron Boulder is kind of a problem, huh?
Just a little bit.
I will draw for turn. I will attach an energy to my Entei, and I will pass.
All right, Chip. I will draw for turn. It's pretty good. I will attach a water energy to my Iron Boulder EX, retreat my Jinx into my Iron Boulder EX. Probably should have done this first. I will play Rayfort with the top 5 cards of your deck, discard any number of them, put the others back in any order. When I first read this card, I thought you just discarded cards and then shuffled. I was like, it's not
Seems
that
bad,
good.
yeah,
but it's a little bit better than I thought.
It is a little bit better. You know, I may have gone through the same process.
I will discard 2 grass energy and a Glimmet, replacing the others back on.
You have a Glimora in your deck?
Maybe.
Holy cow.
I will then use Repulsor Axe for 60 damage, which becomes 40 damage because of your ability. And then if I get attacked and damaged during your turn, you'll take 8 damage counters.
It's pretty good, honestly.
It's not bad.
I will draw for turn. I will attach return to my Entei Azul and hope you don't have a fighting energy and pass.
All right, I will draw for turn, Chip. I almost discarded my fighting energy, but I'll first play Caretaker to draw 2 cards. If you draw any cards in this way, and if you have a community center in play, if there is a community center, I keep going to say Pokemon Center. If there's a community center in play, shuffle this Caretaker into your deck instead of discarding it. And the other card that I hid just in case.
Just in case.
And now I will Power Stomp for 200, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was excited. Dang it.
It's all right, Chip. You can make your recovery in game number 2. Yeah, the Jinx is kind of insane.
The Jinx seems nuts. I did not get that guy. I didn't know that card existed, honestly.
Me either until I read it. Yeah. It's like, oh shoot. I was going through them. Let's just say I had more EVs to begin with, but the EVs started to get cut down the more I read my
You only need so many Call for Family Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, that was rough, Azul. I'm not gonna lie. I think in this game I will choose to go first.
Seems like the safe bet. Although you do potentially give me over that turn 1 Inviting Kiss.
Oh, you give me an opportunity to go for the turn 1 Volbeat. Come on, cut me into it, buddy. Cut me into it. Oh.
The turn 1 Volbeat would be pretty ridiculous.
All right, Azul, good luck.
Turn 1 Volbeat going first, that is. However, going second, it's a little bit more acceptable.
Same thing. Draw for turn. This guy's got 2 retreat, I just realized. Why is he so thick?
He plans to be KO'd.
Apparently. I'll attach a Metal Energy for turn 2 my Fido, and I will just pass, Azul.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I'll draw for turn here. Honestly, the more that I think about it, the more I think Illumines probably would have been pretty good. I probably should have
For this
played
exact instance, maybe, but like, what if my active Pokemon was just a Gouging Fire EX?
I mean, hitting that thing for 80 doesn't sound terrible. I'd probably rather build up energy on my bench.
It would be KO'd next turn.
But just in case, just in case. Now here's where I gotta do the math on how much energy I play of each energy and which ones I want to put in play first.
Yeah.
I play a lot of different
I feel like
energy
figuring out the energy counts in the deck building is like the hardest part of these type of videos.
Attach a basic water, bench my Miraidon, and then use Quick Sign, search my deck for 2 basic Pokemon, and then put them onto my bench. Off of the Quick Sign, I will find Iron Crown and Iron Boulder EX.
It's not really fair you get Miraidon this early too. This one is looking like it'll be tough, but we'll see what I can do. I will draw for turn. I will bench my Koraidon. I will attach a fighting energy from my hands to the Koraidon, and then I will go for Pleasant Aroma with the Fido. Search my deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto my bench, then shuffle my deck.
Curious to see which Pokemon you get here.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out too. It's a little silly that I did that, to be honest.
What, the metal or the fighting?
The metal.
Who do you have?
I'm gonna grab my Lapras EX.
The Lapras EX, of course, but of course. I actually had one of those myself. I chose not to play it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny, we both pulled a Lapras EX out of our 2 Stellar Crown packs.
I did get the full art one.
Dang, and you didn't play it.
No, it felt like a little bit too hard to start to get value out of.
Well, we'll see how it works out.
I mean, if you get to
Larimar,
of course, Larimar Rain, you can really power up the whole squad.
Could be good.
All right, I'll draw for turn. I will attach a basic fighting energy to my
Oh.
Miraidon. Retreat.
I didn't think about how this KO'd my Fido.
Volbeat.
It's okay.
Okay, and then I will attack with Miraidon's peak acceleration, which does 40 damage plus 20 more from Iron Crowns.
Oh no.
Cobalt command to knock out your Fido, Chip.
Oops.
Accelerate 2 basic fighting energy to my Iron Boulder EX.
And it probably would be good if Lapras was something else, but that's all right. I will promote my Koraidon and draw for turn. Whew, pretty nice top deck, not gonna lie. I will use the Hassle. I can only use this card if one of my Pokemon were knocked out during my opponent's last turn. Then I get to look at the top 8 cards of my deck, put 3 of them into my hand, shuffle the other cards back into my deck.
That is pretty good.
If only the 8 cards were a little better. I will grab these 3 cards, shuffling these 5 back into my deck. I'll attach return to my Lapras EX on the bench, and Azul, I will pass to you.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I'll draw for turn. Attach a basic psychic to my Iron Crown EX, and then peak acceleration for 40 plus 20 more, so 60 damage to your Koraidon, and then search my deck for up to 2 basic energy cards and attach them to my future Pokemon in any way that I would like. And I will grab a grass and a fighting and attach them to my Iron Crown EX.
I'll draw for turn. I'll use Earthen Vessel to discard a card from my hand, discarding a Psychic Energy to search my deck for 2 basic energy cards, revealing them and putting them into my hand. And off that Earthen Vessel, I'll grab a basic Water and a basic Psychic Energy. Then I will play Rain Fort to look at the top 5 cards of my deck, discard any number of those cards, and put the other ones on top of my deck in any order. Buddy, you forgot to take a prize card from the Fido.
Oh.
I'll put them on top of my deck in this order, not discarding any cards.
Not discarding any cards.
Not discarding any cards.
Not discarding any cards.
Kind of want to keep my energy in my deck, you know?
Okay.
I'll attach for turn to my Lapras EX, and then Azul, I'll just pass to you.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I'll draw for turn. I will then play a Ray Fort, look at the top 5, discard any number of the cards that I find there, put the rest back on top in any order.
Make sure you speak up.
All right.
We're getting that going, huh? That's how you know things are getting serious. Anytime you see a Pokemon player or doing one of these, it's like,
counts.
what are we tapping for? What are we doing? What are we counting? I'm probably guilty of doing that, so I shouldn't make too much fun of it.
I will then discard a Water, a Psychic, and a Luxurious Cape.
Okay, goodbye to the cape.
Putting the other 2 back on top like that. Attach for turn with a basic Grass Energy to my retreat into my Iron Boulder EX, and then use the Repulsor Axe for 80 damage, knocking out the Koraidon and netting myself a prize card. And then if I get attacked during the next turn, deal 8 damage counters back to the attacking Pokemon.
Sure. Draw for turn. We're doing it. We'll see how good it is. I will attach an energy card to my Lapras EX. I will bench my Raging Bolt.
Oh my gosh.
EX. And yeah, then we're going for Larimar Rain to look at the top 20 cards of my deck. This might be the only time in my life I use this attack. Top 20 cards of my deck, and then attach any number of basic energy cards I find there to my Pokemon however I like.
This is gonna get interesting. I'm actually kind of excited for this.
This is gonna be crazy. I mean, wow, I only got 8 out of 20.
That's a lot. What do you, that's good?
Dude, over 50% of my deck is energy cards. That is not, I should have hit more than that. But as it stands, here we go.
You're getting punished for playing the Earthen Vessel.
Boop, there we go.
You better have a fighting in hand or it's gonna be pretty weak as soon as the next
Hopefully we
turn.
can find one at some point. So there we go, 8 energy card loaded up onto Raging Bolt EX.
That's scary, that's swinging.
And yeah, it's up to you, buddy.
All right, I will draw for my turn. And then I've been holding out on this since turn 1. The Norman. Draw 2 cards. If your opponent's active one is a Pokemon EX, draw 2 more.
Well done, well
right
done.
into my trap there, Chip. I've been waiting for your Lapras this whole game.
I don't think I'm putting any other Pokemon in play. I don't care what I draw.
Let's see how we're gonna play. One is just as likely as the next, I guess. I'll attach a Fighting Energy from my hand to my Iron Boulder EX, and then I will conveniently use the Power Stomp for 200 damage plus 20 more from my Iron Crown EX to knock out your Lapras there.
That is a knockout, and that's 2 prize cards to you. It's all in on Raging Bolt, buddy. Draw for turn. Attach the basic Fighting Energy, and then I am going for the Lacy to shuffle my hand into the deck.
Ooh.
Draw 4 cards, but if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, which of course you do, I get to draw 8 cards instead.
Not bad, Chip, not bad. Some would say you're cooking, but some would not realize you have 6 prize cards remaining.
How are you going to get through Raging Bolt, buddy?
I do 50. He does 40 with their powers combined.
Good luck. I wish you nothing but the best. So I get to draw 8 cards from the Lacy.
If you want.
Okay, and then I will use Bellowing Thunder. Got to discard 4 energy cards to take this KO. I don't know how much it matters which energies I discard. I think all that matters is I keep the lightning in the fighting, really. And yeah, we will discard these 4 energy cards to get that 1-hit knockout and take 2 prizes.
All right, sounds good, Chip. I'm gonna go ahead and promote my Volbeat here. I'll draw for turn. I'll then go ahead and play Roark. Draw 2 cards, put a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand.
His name is Roark.
Rourke?
Rourke.
Of course. For the basic energy, I will grab a basic Psychic. For turn, I will attach a basic Grass energy to the Volbeat, and then I will use a Quick Sign. Search my deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, put them onto my bench.
See what you got, buddy.
I'll grab a Clefairy.
Oh gosh, what, the Clefable that like copies my attack? Jeez, gotta hope you don't find that guy.
And I also grab Iron Hands.
Okay, I feel pretty okay about this. Feel pretty okay. I will draw for turn. I will attach a fighting energy to my active Raging Bolt. I will play Lucian. Each player shuffles his hand, puts it on the bottom of the deck. If either player put any cards on the bottom of the deck in this way, each player flips a coin. If heads, they draw 6. Tails, they draw 3. Big flips here, Azul.
This could make things interesting, Chip.
Would you like to flip first?
Sure. Tails?
That's pretty good. Heads. That's
There we
pretty
go.
good. And then Azul, I'll go for the Bellowing Thunder, discarding 1 energy card to knock out Volbeat.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and promote my Miraidon here. I will draw for turn, and I will attach a basic water energy to my Miraidon and use Peak Acceleration for 60 damage and accelerate 2 energy to my future Pokemon in any way I would like, and 2 basic lightnings will make their way to my Iron Hands on the bench.
I need a card that's on the bottom of my deck.
And I'll pass it over to you, Chip.
I will draw for turn. I'm gonna regret not doing the thing I considered doing, I think.
I wanna know what it is.
I will use Perrin to reveal up to 2 Pokemon from my hand and put them into my deck. If I do search my deck for that many Pokemon, reveal them and put them into my hand. I'll put in Pansear and Sandy Shocks.
Okay, sounds good.
So off the Perrin, I will find an Okidogi and a Morpeko, and then these fellas get shuffled back in.
The Dogi. Wait, that is pretty sick with the Lapras. So you get the Lapras set up and then go into the Dogi. All right, Chip, I see you're cooking over there. With the printer.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I will bench the Okidogi. I'll attach a fighting energy for turn to the Okidogi, and then Azul, I will go for the Bellowing Thunder. I will discard 2 energy cards to deal, 140 damage, enough to knock out the Miraidon and draw a prize.
I'm sure you want to knock out my Miraidon.
What's the problem?
Well, I'll kill you with Iron Hands.
Oh! Rewind.
Rewind.
Redact, redact, redact.
Redact. Put it in the bloopers.
So I will bench the Morpeko. I'll use Snack Sneak to look at the top card of my deck. I may discard it. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
All right.
I'll attach for turn to the Morpeko. I will retreat the Raging Bolt in the active spot to my bench into Morpeko, and then I will bench my Roaring Moon
Oh,
EX.
gosh. Chill.
I pulled that from my packs, buddy. And then I will use Pick and Stick to attach 2 basic energy cards from my discard pile to my Pokemon in any way that I like, putting 2 Darkness energy onto Roaring Moon EX.
This just got kind of real. All right, my turn then, Chip. I'll draw for turn. Boy, this definitely makes things interesting here. I'm now unsure of what I want to do.
Here we are, buddy.
Here we are indeed. Bench Applin.
Okay.
And then I will use Peak Acceleration for 60 damage, searching my deck for 2 basic energy cards and attaching them to my future Pokemon in any way that I like. I'll attach a Grass energy to my Iron Hands EX, or Iron Crown EX, excuse me, and then a Lightning energy to my Iron Hands.
I'll draw for turn. I'll use Snack Seek to look at the top card of my deck. I will choose to discard the Roaring Moon. I will attach Lucky Helmet to my Morpeko. I will bench Okidogi, attach an energy for turn to the Okidogi, and then I'm gonna go for the Pick and Stick. Attach 2 basic energy cards from my discard pile to my Pokemon in any way that I like.
All right.
Then Azul, it's your turn, buddy.
All right. So it's doing 170 and has 230.
That's right.
Dude, that thing is huge.
Heck of a spot we find ourselves in, friend.
I will draw for turn.
Okay.
Can't do that. Okay. Dude, the okiest of dogies. I will attach return to my Miraidon, retreat it into the Iron Crown EX. I'll then use Twin Shuttles to do 50 damage to 2 of my opponent's Pokemon. So I'll put 50 on the Okidogi and 50 on the Roaring Moon EX.
Okay, okay. I will draw for turn. think I should be okay here then. I'll use Snack Seek, look at the top card of my deck. I will choose to discard the Panseer. Do you have a way to get back the Iron Crown? I'll retreat my Morpeko into Raging Bolt EX.
Oh, I messed up my math on that.
I will attach for turn 2 the Raging Bolt EX, and then I will Bellowing Thunder, discarding 7, 14, 21, 28, 280 damage to KO the active Iron Crown.
All right.
Taking 2 prizes.
So my Iron Crown, I'm gonna go ahead and promote my Iron Hands. I will draw for turn, and I'm all in on the Volt Wave.
Oh,
30
boy.
damage for the coin of heads. Your opponent's active is now paralyzed.
That's what it comes down to. Oh, let's go. Come on. Draw for turn.
It looks like we're going to a game 3.
Attach, and I'll Bellowing Thunder. Boom, boom, boom. Knock out the Iron Hands. Let's go. The Lapras EX, dude.
That is a lot of energy. Yeah, the Lucian definitely made things tough for sure. Could not.
I was like, he got a Clefairy. There's a Clefable in this man's hand.
All right, game 3.
Game 3.
I will choose to go first. Energy attachment's pretty good, I think.
Does make sense, yeah. This will be the game I open the Volbeat, just like you opened it in the game you went second. You know, I would still take it. I would still take it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's complaining about that Volbeat start. It's pretty good.
Sorry, you know, my draws have just been a little clunky. Seeing nothing but energy in my hands, you know.
Have you tried pile counting?
Okay, 7 cards.
Here we go, Chip.
Here we go, Azul, good luck.
Oh my gosh. That's a little scary off the rip there, Chip, not gonna lie. Going first though, I'll draw for turn. I'll bench a Froakie Capsakid.
What are these Pokemon in your deck? What?
I'll attach a Lightning Energy to my Clefairy, and I will pass.
Draw for turn. Would have been cool to get this card to work, but I don't think it's gonna happen this time. That's okay. I'll attach a Lightning Energy to my active Raging Bolts. Then I will go for the Burst Roar, discard my hand, and draw 6 new cards.
Sounds good. I will draw for turn, evolve to Frogadier. I will bench Finizen.
Dude, do you have a Greninja EX in your deck? There's just no way.
Attach a basic grass to the Capsakid, and I will pass.
Okay, I will draw. I'll bench the Gouging Fire EX. I'll attach a Fire Energy for turn to Gouging Fire EX, and I'll go for the Burst Roar, discard my hand, and draw 6 new cards.
All right. I'll draw for turn, attach the handheld fan to my Clefairy.
Oh my gosh.
Attach a basic water to Frogadier, and I will pass.
That is annoying. I'll draw for turn. I'll attach a Fighting Energy from my hand to Raging Bolt. I'll then attach Lucky Helmet to my Raging Bolt. A little consistent draw power, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And I'll go for the Bellowing Thunder, 70 damage, discarding the Fire Energy from my Gouging Fire EX on the bench.
I'm getting knocked out, so I get to trigger the handheld fan. I will move the Fighting Energy from your active to your bench to Gouging Fire, and I will promote my Capsakid.
Take my prize card.
Draw for turn. I'll bench my Iron Boulder EX, attach a Fighting Energy, and I'll pass over to you, Chip.
How many cards do you have?
0,
okay.
Unfortunately.
Draw for turn. That was pretty good. Top deck. I will attach a Fighting Energy from my hands to the Raging Bolt EX, and we're just going in. I will use the Bellowing Thunder, 70 damage for the knockout.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and promote my Iron Boulder. Draw for turn. It is a Fighting Energy. I'll use the Repulsor Axe for 60 damage, and if I take any damage during my turn, I put 8 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon.
Okay, and then with the Lucky Helmet, I'll draw 2 cards, and then I will draw for turn. I'll attach an energy for turn to Gouging Fire EX on the bench, and I will just pass.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw for turn.
No shot!
It is an energy, and I will use Power Stomp to knock out your Raging Bolt.
Ah, that's a bummer.
That's a 50-50. 50% of my deck is energy.
I guess that's fair.
And I'll get myself
I really shouldn't be that upset. That's
2 prize cards.
Okay.
I know, that was funny. You're like, no way. The energy?
all right. With the Lucky Helmet, I do get to draw 2 cards before I promote.
Sure.
And then I will promote the Gouging Fire and draw for turn.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened. I'm not gonna lie. My bad.
Inconceivable. It was made for an exciting game, for sure.
Yes, here we are. My bad. I will use Hassle to look. I can only use it when a Pokemon was knocked out during my opponent's last turn. Get to look at the top 8 cards of my deck, put 3 of them into my hand. So let's take this, this, and this, and shuffle those 5 back in. Still think I'm in a solid enough spot here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining, to be honest. It's not looking too shabby.
Yep. I'll attach a fire energy from my hand to the Gouging Fire EX, and I'll go for Heat Blast, 60 damage.
All right, sounds good. I will draw for turn. All right, no complaints on my end either. I got that Norman.
Okay.
Draw 2 cards. If your opponent's active, visit Pokemon EX, draw 2 more.
I should have just friggin' hit you for 140 with...
Small boy.
Yeah.
I'll bench Volbeat, attach for turn to my Frogadier, and I will pass.
Draw for turn. I'll use Earthen Vessel, discarding a card from my hand in order to search my deck for 2 basic energy, put them in my hand. Discard Panseer, and from the Earthen Vessel, I will grab 2 basic fighting energy. I will bench Okie Dokie. I'll attach a fighting energy to the Okie Dokie, and I'll go for the Heat Blast for 60 damage.
Sounds good. All right, I will draw for turn. I will go ahead and play Ray Fort. Look at the top 5 cards on my deck, discard any number of them, and put the rest back on the top in any order. I'll discard Clefable, Glimmet into Grass Energy, putting the final card back on top, and I will pass over to you, Chip.
No energy, huh? I will draw for turn. I'll attach a basic fighting energy to Okie Dokie. I will use my own Ray Fort to look at the top 5 cards of my deck, put them on top in any order, or discard as many as I want. Should I play around your potential, what's it called?
Lucian.
Lucian, I guess I might as well. I'll discard these 3 cards and put these on top of my deck. Then I will use Heat Blast for 60 damage.
All right, sounds good. I'll draw for turn, play Caretaker, draw 2 cards. If there is a community center in play, shuffle this Caretaker back into your deck. There's no community center in play, unfortunately. Okie Dokie's looking scary.
He's pretty good.
It's pretty scary, it's pretty scary. Bench Keldeo.
Ooh, okay.
Attach a fighting energy to my active Iron Boulder. Play a Beach Court.
Ooh.
Retreat my Iron Boulder to my Keldeo.
Okay.
And I will pass.
Did not see that coming, not gonna lie. I'll draw for turn. A little bit of a bummer there. I will attach a Darkness Energy to my Okie Dokie. I'll retreat my Gouging Fire using your Beach Court, discarding just 1 fire energy, and then I'll go for the Good Punch, which deals 170 damage because of the Adrena Power ability. I've got Darkness Energy attached, taking a prize card.
Sounds good, Chip. I think I'm in trouble here. I'm gonna go ahead and promote my Volbeat. I will draw for turn. Doing 170.
170 every turn.
He is swinging. I need that stall tactic. Does it come down to the numbing water? It might. I will retreat to my Frogadier, and I think this is going to be
The game decider.
a big game decider here, unless you play a switch, in which case I will probably just lose. I'm gonna go ahead and use that numbing water for 20 damage. Flip a coin if heads. The active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Oh.
Tails. I feel like you always hit tails on those big flips. 20 damage, and I will draw for turn.
Need a miracle at this point, I think.
I'll bench my Roaring Moon EX. I'll attach a Darkness Energy for turn to the Roaring Moon EX, and I will go for the Good Punch, 170 damage for the knockout.
All right, promote my Volbeat to draw for turn. It's all a little bit too little too late, I fear. Bench Eevee, retreat my Volbeat to Eevee, and pass.
Yep, draw for turn. I'll attach for turn to the Roaring Moon EX, and yep, Good Punch once again for 170 times 2 for the knockout, 340 damage on the Eevee.
Once again, draw for turn, and it's not enough, Chip. I'll pass over to you.
And I'll draw for turn. I'll attach for turn to my Roaring Moon EX, retreating the Okie Dokie, and I'm gonna go for the Frenzied Gouging. 200 damage to myself, knocking out the Volbeat to take
Unfortunate.
my final prize card.
Sheesh. Yeah, I could not get...
Bad start that game for sure.
All I need was a water energy. But also, I drew into this a little bit too late because I have...
Ooh. Oh, you needed a hero.
Yes.
You needed a hero.
He can only be my hero so many times. Yeah, I just needed the water. I was waiting for it. I was like, and especially when you didn't get aggressive, you were just like, I'll do 60. I was like, all right, I have 4 turns.
You could punish it really hard.
To find this water. But yeah, I could not find any aggressive draw in that early. But it got like, I thought I was just done. And then Iron Boulder was found, gave me a little bit of tempo, but then I couldn't draw into the water. It's funny, I had the water guy in there for your Gouging Fire, and then I wasn't gonna play this. And I was like, well, you might play the Walking Wake, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I had a 1/1 Electivire at first, which for 2 colorless energy does like 140 or something if there's a low water Pokemon in play.
Dang, so you like metagamed. I didn't even think about what Pokemon you had, to be honest. I was just like, I'm playing my good guys.
Well, this guy's just sufficient, right? The Palafin just 130 for 1 water.
Bro, if you knew I had, why didn't you play Lapras if you're...
That's so much.
I don't know, bro. I thought about playing Lapras in 59 energy cards.
I would have definitely beat that.
You probably would have beat that.
Yeah, Iron Boulder would have swept.
I was really hoping for the turn 1 going second, Gita. This game could have been the one time time I ever used Laminar Rain and the one time I would ever use Gita in a Pokemon match.
Actually, before you used Illusion, I did have the Clefairy in hand, but it cost 2 energy. I also had the Poppy. I had Poppy Clefairy. I was waiting.
Oh, that would have been a sick play.
And then you had the Illusion, and it all went to the bottom.
Yeah, I had a lot of supporters. I had like 8 supporters in my deck.
Me too. Mine were like the Poppy, and then I have Team Stargrunt.
The Hassel was really good, obviously.
Hassel's great.
I did have this, which almost came up on the first game. If I could have gotten this to heal 30 on the, what's it called?
Raging
The big
Bolt.
guy, the Raging Bolt.
Yeah,
that would have been really good. I had just put it on the bottom of my deck with the Lucian. That's when I was like, I have a card on the bottom of my deck I need.
The Ray Forts are weird because it's like, when you look at the top cards, unless you have dead Pokemon, then it's just like, I need energy attachments still moving forward. Do I discard the energy to hope to hit the bigger Pokemon?
The better types that you need.
Yeah.
Right? This is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
After the first game, I was like, oh no, what did Chip actually get here?
I was pretty deflated after the first game, honestly, because I was excited to play. I was like, my deck feels good, and then it was Entei and nothing, but.
Yeah, we had a couple better games after that.
That was fun, Azul. GG's.
GG's, Chip. That was a good one.
That was fun.
I thought it was gonna be terrible because the first game was so bad.